Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. March is already over, so it's time for another monthly favorites video. I feel like things really started to look up this month with the time change, getting more sunlight in the day, the weather warming up, and news of the vaccine becoming more widespread. So I'm feeling good and I'm excited to get into this month's favorites. My fashion favorite for the month is a color, and lately I've been really into baby blue. There's just something about it that makes me so happy, and I don't know if you remember, but for the past almost year I had been really obsessed with the color sage green and anything in that kind of like muted blue-green tone. Well, I finally came to the conclusion that I don't think that color actually looks that good on me. I don't know if it's the color of my hair or the shade of my skin, but I feel like it just doesn't look as good on me as it does whenever I see it on someone else and I get so obsessed with it. But light blue, on the other hand, I find to be such a flattering color. I recently got this little cardigan from H&M. It's such a pretty color, very flattering, and I feel like it just looks so bright and happy, and I think it's so cute. It's so funny because when I was organizing my closet and putting away all of the spring and summery things, I distinctly remember thinking like, ugh, there's so much color, I'm never gonna wear this, I don't even want to see this right now. But things change once the weather warms up and the sun is still out at 7 p.m. I've definitely been gravitating towards more pastel and bright spring-like colors. I just thrifted this cute little green cardigan the other day, and I really am just so excited to wear color again. So I am long overdue for a haircut, and it's just the worst when your hair grows out into this like shapeless hanging mass on your head. And it's even worse because I don't really style my hair very often. It's just one of those things I don't enjoy doing. But I have been itching for something different, briefly considered getting bangs, but didn't really want to do that. And I had seen a couple of people that I follow use that like beach waver hot tool to get those mermaid-esque waves. And to me, the results that you get from using that hot tool look pretty much just like you slept in braids. So that's what I did. I finally somewhat learned how to French braid my own hair, and it's great because you don't have to use any heat, you don't have to style your hair in the morning, and you just wake up with these really pretty waves. My hair does not like to hold any style for more than a day, so the waves unfortunately still die out pretty drastically overnight. But this is what day 2 of the waves look like. I still have a little bit of texture, and it just makes my hair a little bit less boring. To all of my fungal acne subscribers, I have a new skincare favorite. You've probably already heard the news by now, but it happened. The creator of Simple Skincare Science came out with his own skincare brand, and I am here for it. It couldn't have come at a better time because I have been struggling with my skin for the past month at least. It's gotten much worse than it has been in a while, and I've been kind of frustrated because most of the things that I had tried in the past didn't really seem to be doing much. So I've been using the Malezia products for a solid week now, and by the way, they're a 5% urea moisturizer and then a 2.5% benzoyl peroxide gel, and I've been really liking them so far. I definitely needed to give it some more time. I really like the texture of the moisturizer, and it seems to be like plenty hydrating for my dry skin. So far the texture and the fungal acne on my forehead are still very much there, but I found the benzoyl peroxide gel to be really effective but still non-irritating on the normal acne that I've been getting. Since I've been struggling with my skin, I've been trying to switch back to using as much fungal acne safe makeup that I can. I've been using all the same products that I mentioned in my full face of fungal acne safe makeup video, but in particular I've really fallen back in love with my Nudestix and Nudies blushes. I don't think the dewy ones are fungal acne safe, but I much prefer the like matte formula much better anyway. They're not matte, they don't dry down to a powdery finish or anything. They just have a really nice natural sheen to them. I have 3 colors and I love them all equally actually. In the nude is a really lovely peachy nude color. Salty Siren is like the prettiest pinky coral color, and it's what I'm wearing today. And then Sunkissed is a gorgeous rosy brown color that just makes me feel so summery. I also really like the stick packaging for these blushes because while I still love my Kosas blushes and the Tower 28 blushes that all come in a compact, I find that the stick is a lot easier to use and less messy because you can just swipe it on your palm to warm up the surface of the product rather than having to like dip your finger into the whole compact. My next favorite for the month has been film, and I've had my film cameras for a while now, but ever since the pandemic started, I just kind of stopped because I obviously wasn't going out much, didn't feel like there was much to take photos of at home. But last month I finally decided to finish up the roll of film that had been in my camera pre-pandemic, and I started taking more photos again, and it's just been so fun. I love the aesthetic and the anticipation of getting your film developed. I really wish large companies would make nice small compact point and shoot cameras like this again, because you can buy these vintage and get them for pretty cheap, but I feel like I always have problems with these because they just weren't made to last. Okay, next up, you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably have already seen this, but this month I made the perfect batch of chocolate chip cookies. I have a huge sweet tooth, it's so bad, and cookies are probably my favorite sweet of all time. There's just something about a perfectly crisp, chewy cookie with that caramelized flavor, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sweetness from the chocolate that makes a chocolate chip cookie so addicting. But for some reason, every time I've tried to make chocolate chip cookies at home, every recipe I've tried has just not really come out the way it was supposed to, until the day I tried making the Jacque Torres chocolate chip cookie recipe. They are literally some of the best cookies I've ever had, definitely the best ones I've ever made. I think there's something about the ratio in that recipe in particular, like it has a little bit more sugar, a little bit less butter, but they come out nice and crisp and chewy. They're not a very like soft cookie if that's what you like, but if you like something crisp and chewy, then I would highly recommend checking that recipe out. My other favorite sweet discovery for the month is a Japanese style cheesecake. I finally got my hands on this really popular cheesecake pop-up in the Bay Area called Basuku. Every week the cheesecakes literally sell out in like 3 seconds. I actually tried a matcha based cheesecake the other day from a different place that I was so excited to try, but honestly, the Basuku cheesecake blows it out of the water. It was way better. So if you don't know, a Basque style cheesecake is one that you bake at a higher temperature for a lower amount of time so that the top of it caramelizes and gets really dark, but then the center of the cheesecake is less done, so it's still very soft and creamy. And then a Japanese Basque cheesecake is a hybrid between a Japanese style cheesecake, which is really light and fluffy, almost like a sponge cake, combined with a traditional Basque cheesecake, and the end result is basically a really light, fluffy, creamy cheesecake that is unbelievably delicious. I really want to try to recreate it as best as I can, but I need to space out my sweets a little bit. My TV favorite of the month is WandaVision, and the show finished, I think, at the beginning of March, so sadly it is over, but my boyfriend and I really enjoyed it. The ending was kind of meh, but major props to the team that worked on the show, because the creative direction, the way it was filmed, and the way that the plot was revealed were just chef's kiss. It's been a while since I watched something that made me like think and appreciate something so much, and I honestly wouldn't have expected that from a Marvel show. And then last but not least, I actually have a few music favorites for the month.
Every day, every night, I work my whole...
I'm pretty basic when it comes to music, but I have been awaiting ROSÉ's solo songs to come out. I'm not a huge Blink or anything, but ROSÉ is definitely my favorite member of Blackpink. I just really love her voice, and I love both of her songs. On the Ground and Gone have been on repeat since they came out.
And I see you, the way I breathe you in.
I feel like Justin Bieber has come out with quite a lot of music and singles lately that I generally do like, but I've been really into his new album, Justice. If you haven't seen his Tiny Desk concert, then I would highly recommend watching it. I especially loved his acoustic performance of Peaches, which I think is so much better than the studio version. That's everything that I love this month. I'm so happy that spring is in full swing now, and I always get so excited and nervous around this time of year because April is my birthday month, but I always feel like the year is going by so fast once it gets to this point. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.